Hello, everybody. It is time once again for the weekly connection ritual. Some of you may be out and doing family things, depending on where you're at in the world. Some of you might be sleeping. That's fine. This is recorded and you can access it whenever you wish. You can find it here on Facebook, pinned on my page. You will find it archived on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure you'll be able to still search it over on IGTV. So this is filmed live, and if you wish to participate right now, grab a candle or just grab a little bit of quiet. This is more a guided meditation than a ritual. It is about connection and connecting over a distance, finding first your quiet and sheltered internal core, finding a little peace there after whatever you've gone through this week. And then, if you are comfortable with it, reaching out beyond yourself and gaining some practice in connecting with others across distance, seeing how far we can reach and how much we can share when we do so freely and willingly, and when we ask permission of others to reach back and connect to us. This is long distance work, remote energy work, astral temple work. It really depends on the system you come from, what term you use, but it all hits the same mechanics. We are not merely these physical bodies. We can reach out beyond them. And in these times of pandemics and lockdowns and all of the other things that are going on in the world that make it hard to travel, to meet up with our usual groups of friends and spiritual workers, this is an attempt to help you learn the pathways to connect regardless of where you physically are. And if you are solitary, if you are isolated, if you are alone, it gives you an opportunity to connect to a community that is willing to support, that freely offers energy and insight and whatever emotional support we can manage from a distance. It begins with a candle. If you don't have a candle, you'll be able to use mine. No big deal. And the candle's just a focus. Don't get hung up on it. At the top of the hour, I will begin with the Keprian charge. This is how we open ritual in my tradition. We'll close with the family prayer. You may find things that resonate for you in these, and they may not be words that really speak to you. That's fine. They're how I open and close ritual, and they provide a familiar container of space. So get comfortable, settle in, put on some music or some incense, get your candle, take a few breaths, leave the distractions of the week behind. Be present in this moment now. A couple of breaths to just feel that release, that focus. Follow the light, follow the sound of my voice, and we begin. We are the many born. We are the immortal. Eternal, we wander the aeons, moving to the rhythm of our own inner tides. We are active elements moving through passive worlds. Endlessly we die and are reborn, changed yet unchanging through the years. We move from lifetime to lifetime, taking up bodies as garments. Ours is a journey toward understanding, and our charge is knowledge and wisdom. We are the catalysts, and as we awaken to ourselves, we serve to awaken the very world. Take a few moments to simply breathe, to simply be, to check in with your physical body, to be present in this moment. Don't worry too much about doing it right. There's no right or wrong here. Simply be. And if there's anything that's distracting you, aches or pains, anxieties, sounds in your space, it's too hot, acknowledge them and just set them aside. Don't try to shove them away. Don't try to repress them. Don't try to grab on them. That's too active, and that will redirect your attention. Simply acknowledge what might be distracting you and just let it pass by. Let it be over there for the moment, and be in your space, your flesh. Be present with me. If it helps, take a few breaths. Roll your neck and your shoulders. And when you feel a modicum of calm, close your eyes against the light, not to block it out, but to turn your vision inward. Close your eyes so that the light dances in gold and red on the other side of your eyelids, and use that brilliance to guide you toward your own internal flame. You may experience this as a brightness, as a literal light, as a flame, as a spark, as a star, as a song, as a name you only remember in dreams. You may experience it as darkness. Whatever is the core of you, find it now and seek it, spiraling in and in, allowing your vision to go deeper and deeper through the different stages of flesh and awareness and self, until you find yourself in a calm, centered, sheltered space that is only you. There are boundaries all around, which you control, but they give you a clear sense of where you end and begin and where everything else is. You are inside and sheltered and safe and focused in a way perhaps you have not been all week. Give yourself some time to simply be in this centered space in the same way that you were in your body. Be in you, however you experience that, however it manifests to you. And again, it's okay if you get distracted, if there are things that pull your attention away. Acknowledge them, set them aside, and try to simply be present in this moment, in yourself. And remember what that feels like. To just be you with your firm boundaries, without anything pulling you away from yourself, without your obligations, without distractions, without the things that tell you that you should be something else other than what you really are. Seek your most authentic self and be brilliant. Some of you will want to stay right in that moment, in the centered, safe part of yourself, where you are not concerned with anything outside, because there's so many things that pull you away from yourself. You need this shelter, this sanctuary in this moment, and that is okay. For those of you who wish to connect beyond yourself, turn your attention to the boundaries around you. You may experience them as the walls of a great old fortress, They may be just bright, brilliant light, scintillating like the northern lights. You may find yourself in a vessel of crystal as old as the stars. However you experience your boundaries, they can be as firm as you need them to be, but there are also places where they open, where you can reach out into the world and invite others in. And again, you have total control over those apertures, over where you connect out. But as you turn your attention toward that, realize that there are many tiny strands of light stretching from you out through the vastness of space and connecting like pathways to the people who are important to you in your life. Family, friends, companion animals, people who've passed beyond the veil of flesh, but who nevertheless retain their connection to you. Tethers you hold to places that carry a special place in your heart. And all of these are pathways of energy, of knowledge, of knowing. This vast and glimmering webwork is a highway of emotion and thought and intent. Many of these connections are thick and well-trod, bright, easy to find. Some have grown dim with disuse, and they are like a whispered memory, fine as spider silk. Take a moment to focus on a few that call to you right now. Where do you want to connect? Where are you pulled to connect right now? Who do you want to feel the most in this moment as you reach out beyond yourself, beyond the miles, beyond even the boundaries of life and death? Allow yourself to grow expansive, following these brilliant lines of light, zipping along at the speed of thought and intent until you come to who and what bright souls are on the other end of the pathways you've chosen. Each has their own set of boundaries, their own fortress. And so you must knock, you must request to make a formal connection, to share energy, to share emotion, to share intent. Do that now. Ask permission to give, to receive, to connect beyond yourself. Along these pathways, we can give energy in support of others. We can share dreams and thoughts. We can share intention and magic. We can also receive all of these things. So think about where you are at with your life right now, in yourself. Do you feel replete and rich and strong? Do you have support to give? And if the answer is yes, offer to all of those you hold connections to. Offer what you can, never so much that you diminish yourself, just enough to be a gift. And if you are in a difficult place, a tired and worn place, if you find yourself in need of energy, emotional support, or simply the acknowledgement of another mind, ask, put out that request. Let all of the others connected along this webwork, for whom you wish a connection, let them know that you are willing and that you are in need, and that you will take what they offer with gratitude and allow it to strengthen and enrich you. Whether you give or take, whether it's a little bit of both and there's a reciprocity along these lines, allow yourself to to go as far as you can, as far as is comfortable, and touch and taste and experience all of the other brilliant souls and minds. And explore those that are no longer human, not in flesh. Explore those who never were and yet are familiar to you. Places, natural spirits, the earth itself, everything to which we have a connection. Be aware of what that feels like and what you can do to support, to be a healthier part of that. To acknowledge that we are all a part of this vast web work, and we are greater than the sum of our parts. And when we engage consciously and with intention, when we share what we can, when we support, when we guard one another, the whole is strengthened and enriched. Seek healing, seek to heal. And as tempting as it is to stay in this expansive state, spread out across the space between the minds and the stars, remind yourself of where your center lies and follow zippingly down the brilliant lines back to the core of yourself, which you never truly lost, back to that safe, centered, sheltered space where you are very clear on where your boundaries are. The lines of connection, like pathways that you now memorize, a road you've traveled so that you can follow again, they are still there. But your active engagement, the sharing of energy, the expansiveness of thought and emotion along the lines, that pull back to yourself. Be whole in yourself, focused back in yourself. And once you are comfortable that you are wholly in your space again, in the same way that you came back to your center, also come back to your flesh, wherever you sit or lie, wherever you hear the sound of my voice and see the light of this brilliant candle. Come back. Do not abandon the knowledge, the feelings that you've experienced, but come back. Reacquaint yourself with your body, your skin. Touch your face if it helps to ground you. Wiggle your toes and be present. But remember that you are also always in that other space, always connected, always vast as the stars. We have passed this way before, and we will pass this way again. We have been many things to one another, teachers, lovers, friends, and bitterest enemies. But through it all, we have remained tied together, soul to soul, in this, our ancient family. May we endure together peacefully. May we enjoy each new lifetime as it comes. May we strengthen each other as we strengthen ourselves, and may we find one another in every time and in every place to share this fellowship and to celebrate these bonds. Wherever you are, however you are, I hope this has brought you a little bit of focus, a little bit of peace, a little bit of healing in these difficult times. Feel free to share and come back and watch as much as you wish, engage as much as you wish, and I'll see you next week.